Hi guys, welcome to my very first podcast. This is I guess you could call it a podcast, but I've been wanting to do this for actually a very long time because I've listened to so many podcasts throughout for a long time, and I just really been wanting to do one for so long, and I decided I want to do one today. Today I'm just going to talk about basically the final year of Disney, and go right up to Dino Charge. I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff. I'm going to be talking about some of the things why I think maybe Samurai turned out the way it did. Same with Megaforce and Super Megaforce, and then I'm also going to talk about Dino Charge as well. So there might be kind of a few spoilers in Dino Charge. That's why I'm going to just give you a warning now, so when I get to that, you'll be prepared, and I might give you another warning. I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm going to try and make it at least 30 minutes. I don't really want to go no longer than that, but we have to see. Yeah. But before I get started, I'd actually like to mention it's kind of as some sad. Well, not really. I guess you could say sort of sad news. We found out this past weekend. What's her name? Rajia Baroudi, who played Delphine, the white alien ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. It was revealed that she has something called acidic cell carcinoma. I think I'm saying it right. Some kind of salivary gland cancer. So I guess basically cancer. I don't know how serious the cancer is. But unfortunately, I guess she's had, as far as what I read, she's had one operation so far, but she unfortunately won't be able to do can't afford to do all the operations right now, and so they're having a GoFundMe thing to help fans or whoever to help raise money so she could get the surgery to help her beat the cancer. And usually I won't talk about this stuff but I just think this is a very sad thing, and so I'm hoping that they could get the money together and everything. So if anyone I don't think she's listening to it, but if anyone that knows her, I hope she gets better, because this is a very serious thing, and I just hope she gets better, and so it's very sad. I've heard she's a really nice woman. I've never met her myself, but I've heard I've read stuff and listened to other videos of people that have met her, and they've all said she's a really nice lady. So So like I said, if anyone that knows her is listening to this, tell her that I hope she gets better. So anyways, this is very sad. So I guess we could get on. I just wanted to talk about that because it's sad. It's something that you don't really think about and whatever. But anyways, let's get on to some more happy stuff now. Some of this stuff I'm going to talk about that I've said in my history of Power Rangers, but I probably end up repeating, so just bear with me, but I'm going to be adding a lot of stuff to it. So anyways, I'm going to start with RPM. How I found out about RPM, I think I remember, I can't remember if it's going to go a different name. Maybe that was Operation Overdrive. I can't remember, but anyways, I was watching RPM, and I decided for the first time in a long time I was going to watch the season from beginning to end, because up to that point I didn't really watch the season from beginning to end, and so I decided I'm going to commit myself, and because here in Canada and I think a lot of other places, RPM was airing very, very early in the morning. Like here, I think they're showing one or two I guess 2 episodes at 6 and 6:30 in the morning. And I thought that was ridiculous. So I decided to actually record it and then watch it later on. And I watched it. Unfortunately, I missed, I think, the first episode. I think I did end up seeing it later on, but yeah, because after I found out how early it was, that's when I started to tape it. So I watched it. One of the things I know some people might disagree with this on me, and I've actually recommended this in my favorite in my history of Power Rangers is RPM. Even though I do like it, like I've said this over and over again, I actually like every season, but RPM is probably one of my least favorites. Maybe when I go back to watch it, maybe my mind will change. But for right now, it's probably one of my least favorites. Just because it never felt like a Power Rangers season for a long time. Like even today, it really doesn't feel really a Power Rangers season. Well, one of the things that actually did kind of bother me is right off the bat you have the episode starting off with Dylan and Ziggy driving around in the car and stuff happens, but then all of a sudden they get rescued by these three rangers. The Red Ranger, I can't remember his name. The Red Ranger, Summer, the Yellow Ranger, and what's his name? Finn, the Blue Ranger. And all of a sudden, there's these three Rangers that have their powers already. And so I'm going to admit that I'm not really a big fan of that. At least for the 5 core characters. I don't mind if it's a Ranger that comes in later on, actually I can't really think of anything. Like for example, I guess you could say Lauren from Samurai, or I can't really think right now a Ranger that's come in that's already had the powers when they came in. But when it comes to the 5, at least either the 5 or for example the 2 Ninja Storm Rangers, that didn't really bother me either. It's when it's the main Rangers that it kind of bothers me. Like, okay, these are 3 main Rangers, and they already have the powers, and yeah, that kind of bothers me. Another thing that bothers me, and I know a lot of people once again might disagree with them, is the backstory. Now, I don't mind the backstories, it's not that, but it's the backstories of how they became Power Rangers. I know it might not make sense, but the thing is, like I said, when they were already established as Power Rangers all of a sudden, so I'm glad they did the backstory, so we find out how they became Power Rangers, but at the same time, to me, that does not feel like an ordinary Power Rangers season. Because usually in the first episode or the first few episodes, characters are built, like each Ranger getting their powers. And they kind of did that in a way, because Dylan, I think Dylan got his powers first, and then Ziggy got his powers, which was actually by accident. If you've seen RPM, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so yeah, it's just like I don't mind the backstories. It's when you're telling the backstory of how they got the Rangers. To me, that does not feel like a Power Ranger season. I didn't mind it, but yeah, and for a long time, RPM never felt like a season, like even compared to the other seasons, it felt, I guess you could say, like its own thing, its own separate thing, not connected to anything, which in a way, thanks to Samurai and Megaforce, it kind of was established as being in a separate universe, not really connected to the other Rangers. And so, I end up, so anyways, I still watched it, yeah, and then I think in like October, I actually went on, this is actually before I got the internet, because I actually didn't get the internet until 2011 for the first time, but I got to go to other like places where I was able to go on the internet, and as I just decided to look up, I think RPM, because I don't know if I wanted to know what the next season was going to be, or I just wanted information on the show, but I went on Wikipedia, and it revealed, and actually the funny thing is, I actually wrote most of it down, what it said on Wikipedia at the time. I think it still says the same thing, but this is something I wrote down because I think I was going to either just read it to my parents, because my parents know I'm a huge fan of Power Rangers, and I used to actually like talking to them about Power Rangers, even though sometimes they probably didn't care. But yeah, but I just wrote it down mostly for myself, basically. Yeah, and so I'm just going to read this. Yeah. And so this was like, I think, just before Halloween that I found out about this. Halloween of 2009, and this is what is said on Wikipedia. Saban Entertainment distributed the Power Rangers series from 1993 until the end of 2001, and Fox broadcast it until the fall of 2002. The Walt Disney Company purchased the franchise as part of a buyout that took place in 2001. This resulted in Fox Family Worldwide becoming ABC Worldwide Incorporated. This buyout also saw Saban Entertainment becoming BVS Entertainment. The show continued to air on Fox until the company replaced its Fox Kids package with Foxbox. Since September 2002, all Power Rangers shows have aired on various Disney-owned networks. ABC Family, a Disney-owned network, also used to air Power Rangers until it did away with its Jetix time slot after August 2006. And now this is where it gets to the big stuff now. On February 12th, 2009, Toon Disney ended in the wake of Disney XD. Actually, I remember that. Here in Canada, I never got Toon Disney, but yeah. But anyways, Toon Disney ended in the wake of Disney XD, ending airings of Power Rangers, like on ordinary channels. So only left on ABC Kids at the time, when Toon Disney became Disney XD, they basically removed Power Rangers, and it only ended up being on ABC Kids. And then this is what really shocked me at the time. An article in the New Zealand Herald published on March 7th, 2009 identified RPM as the last season of the Power Rangers run. Production manager Sally Campbell stated in an interview, "At this stage we will not be shooting another season." However, a couple of weeks later, Bandai released a statement that said Disney is producing a season 18, and Bandai America will continue to develop action figures and toys for fans and collectors of all ages. Nonetheless, a September 1st, 2009 revision to Disney A to Z, the official encyclopedia by Disney's head archivist Dave Smith, states that production of new episodes of Power Rangers ceased in 2009. So by that point, it was basically confirmed. And then it said, on October 1st, 2009, Bandai released a press release stating that Disney would rebroadcast Mighty Morphin Power Rangers starting in January 2010 on ABC Kids. A new toy line will accompany the series and will appear in the stores by the end of 2009. So yeah, as you could tell, that yeah, it was very unfortunate that happened. I'm not quite sure what the reason why Disney canceled it. Me personally, I think after everything that has happened, I think part of it is because they got Marvel, and they said, you know what, we don't need Power Rangers anymore. We got Marvel now. Let's forget about Power Rangers. And now, so before I get into the 2010 stuff, so anyways, I finished watching RPM by that point. It aired on Boxing Day. Well, here in Canada, after Christmas, we have something called Boxing Day, where a lot of these stores have sales and stuff. But anyways, so it aired on the December 26th, and I think I seen it maybe like a couple of days later. I don't think I watched it on that day, because like I said, I would tape it and then watch it later, or record it, whatever. And yeah, so when it happened, here's I'm just going to tell you this warning. I'm about to reveal the final episode of RPM. Okay, so here we go. In the final episode, as you know, Vengeance is finally destroyed, or so we think, when they basically have the tower that I guess there was like the command base or whatever, crash onto Vengeance and blows everything up, and everybody thinks everything's gone back to normal, and everything, basically all the Rangers and everybody just goes on with their lives, thinks their life has been over. But after they all give their Ranger morphs back to Dr. K, we find out that I guess it's the Red Ranger's morpher, that there's a red blinking light. It's very familiar and it looks like Vengeance. Now that has always bothered me, and this is actually another thing why I think RPM is probably one of my least favorite. Like I said, I like it, but it's this is one of the things that kind of bothered me, and probably the main thing that really bothered me is it ended on a cliffhanger and it was never really resolved. Like even with Clash of the Red Rangers in 2011 and the Super Mega Force episode from last year, can't remember the name of it, neither of them acknowledged that Vengeance thing or that light. So I don't think it's going to be acknowledged in the future. I hope it is. It is acknowledged in the future, but I don't know, because that's this one thing that really bothered me. Probably the main thing that really bothered me for RPM is just the way it ended. So I'm hoping in the future it does get acknowledged. So anyways, after RPM aired, they started airing the Mighty Morphin Revisioned. And well, before I get into that, I actually remember reading, I think it was a couple weeks before it premiered, that I read, I can't remember if it was on Ranger Board, or I think it was like on Ranger Board or something, that I read, and it revealed that they're going to add new graphics. I was like, what? Like, I tell you this, I didn't actually believe it at the time. Like, okay, I didn't really understand what they're talking about. So then I ended up watching the first episode, and I was like, and then I watched it, I was like, what are you doing, Disney? Like, hello? Why did you add these Batman graphics to Disney? Like, okay, there has to be an explanation for this. And then to me it started to look like kind of like a craft book, like someone was making it. That's how it looked like to me. Like, you know how you see like people make these craft like books, like almost like a portfolio or something that people like make in school or whatever. It kind of felt like that, so I thought maybe that was gonna be kind of a story that, okay, someone was making this or something, or someone was looking at this stuff, and I thought it was all gonna be explained later on, and I was hoping that Disney was gonna make some kind of conclusion to Power Rangers in the future, but I don't know, and that stuff really bothered me. But the one thing that I actually hated the Mighty Morphin Revision, I said this in my video before, and I actually remember commenting on a video saying, can we pretend that this never happened, because I do wish that Mighty Morphin Revisioned never happened. But the one thing that really bothered me the most is before they would go to commercial, they would for some reason show a scene that was coming up. Like, okay. And I'm gonna admit this, I know during when Mighty Morphin was originally on, they had like these, I guess, teasers saying this was coming up on Power Rangers. I have to admit, I don't remember being a fan of that, because I did not want to know what was coming up, and yeah, so I definitely hate it, but that's at the beginning of the episode when they did that. But this, when they did the Mighty Morphin Revisioned, they showed it right in the middle of the episode, showing basically a scene that was going to be coming up after the commercial. Like, what? Like, hello? Like, I don't know, it's really stupid, and I'm actually glad Saban brought it back. I know a lot of people might say not, but what would Disney have done? They would have kept airing the Revisioned, and as far as what I heard, the Revisioned wasn't doing very good in the ratings, so they probably would have stopped airing it. The only thing I will give Disney is at least they kept it around. Yeah, at least they kept it around. That's all I have to say. Like, even though they basically butchered Mighty Morphin, at least because they could have easily removed it like that. But they decided to keep it around in a stupid way, mind you, but yeah, until they figured out what they're going to do with it. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how far they would have went, but I don't think they would have went very far with it. I think they only did like up to episode 40 by the time because Saban brought it back in May, and then I think they only aired it for like a couple more weeks after that. I only watched it until the end of the Green Ranger saga, so I actually did watch quite a bit of it. But the only reason was because at the time that was the only Power Rangers on TV, and also at the time that was the only way to really get a lot of the episodes, like to watch a lot of the episodes. Especially for someone like me who didn't have internet at home and didn't really have much access to the internet at times. So for me to see what's happening, but I was happy when Saban brought it back, and yeah, like I said, I watched it until the end of the Green Ranger saga, and I might have checked out maybe one or two after that, but I don't know, I can't remember. Like I said, I just want to forget that ever existed, and I'm glad Saban doesn't recognize it as an 18th season. I think when Samurai first started, they did recognize it as an 18th season, but I think eventually as time went on, they basically don't recognize it anymore, which, like I said, I'm glad they don't. But one of the things was very interesting is, which I think was better than the show itself, was the toys. And I know a lot of people hated the toys. Me personally, I have a couple of them, but I think I got them like way after it aired. I don't remember ever picking any up at the time because I don't remember seeing them. Now I will admit I don't really go to Toys R Us at the time, and actually last year was the first time I ever went to Toys R Us in like ever really. And most of my shopping, our shopping was always at Walmart, and I don't remember seeing any of that stuff there. But one of the toys I really wish I would have gotten, I think I hope to still get one day, is the Alpha and Zordon action figure. I really want to get those, or unless Bandai decides to recreate them, like re-release them again, which I also hope that happens, but I don't know. It's a Zordon and Alpha character I really want, but then you have like the Putties, which I kind of want, and Goldar and Weber. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, enough about the toys. Now we're going to get into the good stuff. Now, I guess you could say, is as you know, back in, I think it was actually May 7th. It was announced, I don't remember exactly, but just I think around when I found out, on May 7th of 2010, it was announced that Saban bought back Power Rangers. Now, how I found out is, it's kind of weird because we have well, actually I think it's still there, but we have a TV guide on the TV, and they'd have like the listings for the channels, and then in the corner they'd have some news stuff, and I remember just looking through it on TV, and I would look up at the news, it was up there, and I noticed it said I think it said like $1 billion or $1 million owner buys Power Rangers. I was like, wait, what? I was confused, like what? Like, wait, did someone buy Power Rangers? I was confused. Like, wait, $1 million person bought Power Rangers. Like, wait, is that Saban? I knew he was like $1 billion and whatever, but so then I went to another channel. It's basically an all news channel, and it basically has like news in one corner, the weather, traffic, and everything like that all over the screen. And it's popped up there, but this time it said, Haim Saban has repurchased the Power Rangers from Disney. I was like, oh my god, I got so excited. And this is going to seem really stupid. Unfortunately, I don't have the picture anymore because I accidentally deleted it, but for some stupid reason, and I don't know why, but I was so excited that Saban bought back Power Rangers that I actually took a picture of the thing on that channel, on that all news channel, and actually took a picture of, with a camera, I took a picture of the TV screen when it popped up. I know it's stupid, but that's how excited I was. I was so excited I actually took a picture of the like headline or wherever it was. Yeah, I wish I still had it and I could show you, but it was nothing big. It's just saying like Saban brought back Power Rangers, and I got so excited. Oh my god! And I think a lot of people are like that. Um, yeah. And for me personally, because also at the time I didn't get Nickelodeon, so I actually had to wait until it aired on YTV, which didn't air until May, so I had to wait an entire year before I got to see Samurai. And I was always trying to stay away from I was always trying to stay away from spoilers. But unfortunately, I was playing that thing with my mom's phone. At the time, I actually went on the internet. For me personally, I wouldn't actually do that because it seems it costs money. But anyways, enough about that. I was on the phone, just playing around on the internet, and I decided, I'll go on the Power Rangers website, and it wasn't very good, but it showed you, okay, Power Rangers Samurai. Actually, I think I found the Power Rangers Samurai on the internet, on the computer, but then I found out about Bulk returning. I was like, whoa, Bulk is returning? I was like, whoa, oh my god, this is going to be the best season ever. And, yeah, and I was, oh my god, and then, yeah, wait, and then I got so excited, and then it premiered. Then I got to see it finally in May of 2011. And after waiting a year, I was severely disappointed. Severely disappointed, and not because of the episode. Not because of how it was made, but because of the episode they aired. And I don't know, I'm guessing it was Nickelodeon's idea to start with this episode. I can't remember the name of it. It's the one where I think I don't really know. But you know what episode I'm talking about. It's the first episode that aired of Samurai. And I was confused. Wait, what? But I was actually confused. Did I miss something? They're already Power Rangers. They're already fighting these bad guys. Like, what is going on? And I was severely disappointed, and I could not get into it. I tried for weeks and weeks to get into it, but I said, I need to get an Origins episode. We need to have a backstory like they did at RPM, which I thought they were going to do. I need something, because I cannot continue watching this. I waited a year for this, and this is how you're going to start it. So I watched a couple episodes, and I actually had to stop watching it. And I came very close. Like I said before, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Revision is the only time I hated Power Rangers, but Samurai came very, very close for me from hating a season, and then I started being nitpicky. So, this is stupid, and how dare they do this? And because I was so mad, because I waited a year for Power Rangers, and then you're going to air it like this. I literally got so mad. That I actually, like I said, I literally had to stop. And then after a couple months, I found out they're doing an Origins episode, which here in Canada, they aired it I think at the end of the year, and it was, I think, just before Christmas on YTV, which is a popular channel here in Canada. And I decided I was going to record it because I thought it was going to be like a 2-part episode. So I thought, I'll just tape this episode, and I'll tape the other episode, and then I can watch both episodes back to back. And unfortunately, I guess because it was so close to Christmas, they had basically stopped airing Power Rangers for I think about 2 weeks to air Christmas shows. And so I thought, okay, they'll come back and they'll show the second episode after that. But they didn't. They went back, and I don't know, it became a complete mess. I actually didn't see the Origins episode until I actually joined Netflix, and this was actually why I joined Netflix back in 2012. I was only with Netflix for a couple months, but I was actually planning on watching Samurai there, but I'll get to that in a couple minutes, why I didn't do that. But yeah, so I joined Netflix, and I finally got to see the 2 Origins episodes, and I was so happy. Oh my god! And for me personally, I thought it was good. It could have been a lot better, but I liked the Origins episode, the Origins episode of Samurai. But like I said, I think it could have been good. I know it's a 2-parter, quote unquote, but the second part, I think it was just a second episode. It was no cliffhanger. Basically, the first episode is just one episode. Even though it's a 2-part, it's not technically a 2-part, but. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that's severely disappointing. That I had to wait basically until 2012, basically almost 2 years, about a year and a half to finally see how it all began. And that's why I actually didn't watch Samurai and Super Samurai when it originally aired, just because it's so and for me, how I ended up watching Samurai is, I for some reason I just kept putting it off, and I eventually decided, I want to watch Samurai. It's getting close to the end of Super Samurai, so I decided, I think in October of 2000, I think it was October or November of 2012, I finally decided to watch all the episodes of Samurai in the proper order. And yeah, and so I got to watch it, and I liked it, and then I didn't watch Super Samurai until January of 2013, which is just before Super Mega. So yeah, right basically about a week or two before Super or Mega Force started, not Super Mega Force, Mega Force started, and it's just, unfortunately, it's just, if they didn't air it the way they did, I would have got into it right away. How I watched it is by basically buying the DVDs and downloading and burning the episodes I didn't have onto DVD. So I would buy the official DVDs that had the episodes that were available at the time, and then I would basically burn the rest of the episodes to my own DVDs, and that's how I watched it for both Samurai and Super Samurai. And for me personally, I actually liked Super Samurai more. I don't know, I just liked it. I liked the final episodes, especially when Lauren came in, which I do agree with a lot of people that she was underutilized, but yeah. I'm hoping that she comes back, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know. And yeah. So with that being said, so yeah, I enjoyed the finale, and I will admit this, I still miss Octoroo. I know I've mentioned this also in my video that I was a big fan of Octoroo, which is kind of weird, because at first I thought, oh my god, who's this octopus monster? He's stupid. But you know, by the end, I really enjoyed him, and I wish he would have came back for during Mega Force, which I don't understand why they didn't, because for the first time ever, I'm actually going to mention Sentai. In the Sentai, I think of either Gokaiger or Goseiger, they fought the character of Octoroo in that, and I wish they would have done that instead of doing what they did last year in Super Mega Force, bringing back that monster that was destroyed in Clash of the Red Rangers. I wish they would have brought Octoroo back last year, but whatever. Yeah. But then again, if they would have brought him, I might have been sad that he was going to be destroyed, because I really like Octoroo. Yeah. So anyways, now before I get into Mega Force, I want to talk about Mega Force. Now I know a lot of people have said they actually hated Samurai, not Mega Force. Yeah. Before I get into Mega Force and Super Mega Force, I want to talk about Samurai and Super Samurai. One thing a lot of people didn't like is basically how it was made, how it was copied from Shikanger. Now I would admit I've never seen Shikanger, but I understand that they basically copied the scripts and made it into Power Rangers. This maybe changed a few words around, and that was basically it. Yeah, but in my opinion, I don't believe that Saban wanted to use Shikanger. And the reason I say that is because I believe he actually wanted to use Goseiger. Now, at the time that Saban brought Power Rangers back, Goseiger was already airing on TV. This was 2010. And once again, I've actually, tell you the truth, I've never seen a whole season of Super Sentai, so I've only seen like bits and pieces of it, like a couple episodes here and there. Anyways, I believe that Saban wanted to start with Goseiger because I believe he wants to start working on it as it was airing in Japan, kind of like what he has done for the kind of like what has been done with Power Rangers and Sentai for the past years, even Disney, like working on it as it was airing in Japan. Yeah. And so I believe that's what he wanted to do. Because I think it would have been perfect. I think it would have been a way better thing. Now I don't know if they would have. I don't think they would have called it Samurai. I don't even know if they would have called it Mega Force. But I think they would have. It would have gone on really well if they'd done the Goseiger footage first. And yeah, because you have like basically the 5 colors that start with Mighty Morphin, and then yeah, I think they could have done something really great with it. But unfortunately, Toei did not want Saban at the time. Remember, at the time, did not want Saban skipping a season for whatever reason. So yeah. So then I'm guessing maybe they tried to talk Nickelodeon to Aaron. Can we have like 40 episodes of Samurai for 2011, and maybe but Samurai or Nickelodeon said no, you want to only do 20 episodes each year, and so they finally said, you know what, we have no choice. And it was basically, and all this time they only had 9 months for the series to premiere because he bought it back in May, and Samurai didn't start airing until February. So he had only like a 9-month window to make everything work out. And I'm guessing maybe he was in talks with Toei at the time. He was in talks with Disney. I'm guessing maybe it just didn't work out. See, I'm not quite sure when the news was revealed as what Sentai he was going to use. Like, was that revealed at Power Morphicon that year? Was it revealed before that? I don't know. But I believe that he wanted to use Goseiger footage first, and yeah. But anyways, now the thing I believe why Samurai and Super Samurai turned the way it was is because they really rushed at it. You could say, okay, why didn't they take the time? Well, the thing is, how could they really take their time when, number one, they only had 9 months to basically cast the actors, write the episodes, and I think that's why they copied the episodes script by script, basically, because they only had 9 months. So they said, what's the quickest way we could do it? And the quickest way was to basically just do a straight adaptation of the scripts. They just translate the scripts basically right to English and only change a few things here and there. And that's why I think it happened. And then also, with that being said, they also had to rush at it. So by basically them rushing at changing the script up, like not really changing the script up, but basically copying the script, casting the actors, filming at least 20 episodes, that's why I think Samurai turned out the way it was. And then when it came time to do Super Samurai, and I'm not quite sure when they started doing Super Samurai, I'm guessing maybe in the summer or something of 2011 they started doing, and so maybe they had a bit more time with Super Samurai, and this is why I think Super Samurai, sorry for keep saying that, but I feel like that season was way better than Samurai. Now, at the same time, I also think it had a lot of problems, and one of the episodes, He's My Brother, I can't remember the actual name, the one where Mia becomes like her and her brother, something I can't remember what the episode, but that was probably my least favorite episode in the entire Samurai season, like both Samurai and Super Samurai. And yeah, I did not like the episode, and I was very disappointed because I really liked Mia as a Pink Ranger, but she didn't really much focus. It seems like she was just there. You know, she was always in the background, or was always with someone. It was always someone and her. It was never her and whoever, except for that one episode, which, like I said, I didn't really care for. And yeah, so that's unfortunately how I feel why Samurai and Super Samurai turned out the way they did, is because they, like I said, in only a 9-month thing, they had to basically cast the actors, write the scripts, and when they got around to do Super Samurai, they really had to find a connection within. I don't know, it's just very unfortunate. I feel like if they would have done Goseiger, they could have started working on that maybe right away, and I think it maybe would have done better, maybe, or Nickelodeon gave them more time to work on it, or Nickelodeon allowing them to do maybe 1 year of thing. And yeah, but I don't know, but this is how I feel that why Samurai turned out, because like I said, they rushed at it, like, which I think a lot of people could agree with. And also I don't think they really want to use Chikanger in the first place, because they knew it was going to be very difficult to adapt it into Power Rangers because of the kind of Sentai it is. But so anyways, when I'm guessing in 2012, so now we're going to talk about Megaforce and Super Megaforce. So in 2012, I'm guessing they're getting ready to for the 20th anniversary, and by this time, Gokaiger, which was the big 35th anniversary for Super Sentai, I believe Saban wanted to use that season, so he went back to Toei and tried to do it this time. He wanted to, and this time I believe he wanted to skip Goseiger and go right into Gokaiger. I believe. Yeah, because he probably thought that, okay, we're going to be stuck with 2 years, so why not do 2 years of the Gokaiger footage? And I think that would have been way, way better. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would have been way, way better if they would have just skipped the Goseiger footage and just go right and done Gokaiger footage for 2 years. I think Super Megaforce, or whatever they would have called it, maybe Megaforce or whatever, would have done way better. And maybe use elements or something from, I don't know. But I'm guessing that once again, Toei said, no, you're not skipping Goseiger, you're going to adapt Goseiger. So then Saban, or whoever at Saban, came up with the idea, why don't we do a hybrid thing? Like, do, for 2013, let's do, for the 20th anniversary, let's do the Megaforce, basically do an introduction to all these characters, but do it very messy. And oh my god, I'm glad I said that. Oh my god. Yeah, it's okay. It's gonna be hard to talk about now. Let's wait a minute. Yeah. The thing is I believe he wanted to skip Goseiger. And so they said, well, okay, let's do the Gokaiger let's use both footage. And so they would decide, like, okay, let's do 20 episodes of Goseiger footage and then 20 episodes of Gokaiger footage. And I think that was a big mistake there, because yes, they did do hybrid seasons before, like especially with Mighty Morphin, but you have to remember those hybrid seasons were like almost 60 episodes. There were quite a bit of episodes. But when you're doing a hybrid season and you only have like 20 episodes of a season, and yeah, so, and I think that's why Samurai or Megaforce turned out the way it was. Like, they basically tried to do certain things, but also tried to wrap everything up. And then when it got to Super Megaforce, and I was very excited when both Megaforce and Super Megaforce came out. I became excited again, like with Samurai. But Megaforce, I felt like was a letdown. Like a lot of people have said, Megaforce was a letdown. I wish they would have done something to at least, like, maybe, I don't know what they could have done, because I know they were only using the Goseiger footage and they had to use that first. So they said, okay, let's do this for 2013, and then we could get into the good stuff from Super Megaforce. And you know, I like the finale of, I like the first episode of Megaforce, and I also like the finale of Megaforce. But now looking back on it, I think I maybe not like as much now that we know how Super Megaforce turned out. Yeah, so I believe that's how they're going to connect them, is basically do 20 episodes of Goseiger and 20 episodes of Gokaiger. But Super Megaforce, I feel like it's going to be hard to talk about, because I had so much excitement for it. I was so excited. Back in May of 2013, pictures and everything was getting leaked out about who was going to be coming back and everything, and all these pictures of behind the scenes and all these weapons, and I was very disappointed. Like, after getting me so excited for Super Megaforce, oh my god, to me it looked like it was going to be the best season ever made. And unfortunately it wasn't. I will admit it started off okay, but then it's. I will say this. I'm actually. It's just. It just like took. It was going like on. If I felt like when Super Megaforce started, like just put Megaforce aside for a minute. But I felt Megaforce was going on the right path, but then all of a sudden it took the wrong turn, and it just made, I guess, a complete mess. It's but I am going to admit this. I do like the cast. I know a lot of people hate the cast of Megaforce, but I like them. I actually hope they come back in Dino Charge for a team up, which I will get to later in when I talk about Dino Charge. But yeah, I felt like if they were going to use the Gokaiger footage, they should have been allowed to do at least 40 episodes of Gokaiger footage, because there's no way they could have done a good story in only 20 episodes. Yeah, you could say they started the Megaforce thing in 2013. So yes, there's 40 episodes of Megaforce, but I'm just talking about, because if you look at Megaforce and you look at Super Megaforce, to me, they seem like two separate seasons. Yes, you still had them morphing back into Megaforce, but a lot of the times it would not make sense, because they'd morph into Megaforce and all of a sudden, snap, they're going to go into Super Megaforce. Like, okay, why did you do that? And it was proven a couple episodes that they could morph into Super Megaforce instantly without going into Megaforce. So yeah, it's just very, very unfortunate that it's just the way it turned out. One thing I think was the problem is the lack of cameos, but I actually do understand, I guess, both sides. Like both why I think I've always understand this. Yeah. On both sides, why certain rangers didn't want to come back, and why Saban did not want to pay them much. Like, I don't think it's just money as well. But anyways, let me get to it. I believe the rangers, the actors, did not want to come back because they didn't want to basically uproot their life for two whole days. Like I don't mean they would have to uproot their life for whatever how long they're going to be there. I mean, which how long, I think they're only there for a few days, but basically uproot their entire life, go fly to New Zealand for very little, and only be there and do maybe a couple lines, because as you've seen in the Super Megaforce finale, and even the cameos that were that we did get, like with Jaden and Casey, which I do think, to tell you the truth, I actually think Casey's guest star, even though I've never really seen much of Jungle Fever, I thought his episode when he returned was actually the best of the crossovers, like with the Jungle Furry and Casey, Jaden and the samurai stuff, and the legendary. But I thought the best crossover or the best cameo was by Casey, the Red Jungle Furry Ranger. But yeah, but I can understand them not want to fly, like not flying there for them to more cameras, like uproot their whole life and only be there for a couple. Like even if they were only, like a lot of them, okay, maybe some of them like had a point, like, okay, we're not gonna fly all that way if you're gonna pay us very little, and we don't, and also a lot of people maybe want them for the money, but we're not gonna fly there and only do like maybe 1 or 2 lines and they have to basically leave, like uproot our entire life and only say maybe 1 or 2 lines. For me personally, what I think they should have done is maybe they should have done like ADR and basically have them record lines, like without flying them over. Like I don't know. I just felt like the whole thing could have been handled way better. And one thing, and I actually posted this on my Facebook, someone made like a fan thing of like combining footage from Ninja Storm and Gokaiger, and made it look like that Ninja Storm and Super Megaforce had a crossover, and I think that was really perfect. I wish maybe Saban could have done something like that. He also owns the footage for the episodes, so why couldn't he just get footage from the episodes? Like, even though, okay, that might have been the cheap way, but at least I felt like it would have been way better than like using like unmorphed footage from like the episodes, and then okay, that might not make much sense, but it looked better than having them would just be I don't know. So I lost my train of thought. Okay, so yeah, like and then but at the same time, I could also understand why Saban didn't want to pay them a lot of money, because of he's not going to want to pay them a lot of money for only something they're going to be doing for 2 days. And I think this comes back to the production side as well. Like, they should have made the cameras a bit bigger, but at the same time, they only really had 20 episodes to work with. Yes, they should have done cameos, maybe introduced the cameos in maybe Megaforce, and then maybe have them be Power Rangers in Super Megaforce, but they obviously didn't do that for whatever reason. But yeah, but like, so I understand both sides, and I do believe they could have been handled a lot better. And also, I think once again, and people have pointed this out again, I feel like just like Samurai and Super Samurai, they really rushed at Megaforce and Super Megaforce, and I think that's another reason why they it turned out the way it did. Yeah, is this very unfortunate? Now I want to get to the legendary battle. Now, before the legendary battle aired, it was revealed that there's going to be an extended version. So, like, okay, I'm actually excited. So then that was telling me, okay, so you're telling me the one that's going to air on TV. Now, I'm going to admit this. I actually like, when okay, let's go back before I talk about that. I forgot to talk about this, but Megaforce was going to I was watching Megaforce on TV. Like, I finally got Nickelodeon. Because I actually asked my dad to get Nickelodeon, and yeah, and so we ended up getting Nickelodeon and some other channels, because there's a package that came in, like a package of channels, and I wanted to get Nickelodeon, so I wanted to watch it at the same time as other people. I didn't want to wait until it gets uploaded and then go looking for it, because usually when I look for episodes, I usually run into spoilers, and I hate when I do that. Yeah. So anyways, so I ended up watching on Nickelodeon Canada, but for some stupid reason, Nickelodeon Canada decided, you know what, let's air it 2 weeks after the US does. I was like, what? Okay, it's bad enough that the UK, now this is, in case you don't know, the UK gets their episodes 6 months late. I was like, okay, that is stupid itself, but yeah, yeah, but anyways, but here in Canada, we get it 2 weeks later. I was like, what? And I was so mad. I wasn't too happy about that. But then eventually, with for some reason, they actually aired 1 week. They actually ended up re-airing 2 episodes of, I think, Super Samurai, and then it eventually worked out where it was only 1 week behind the US here in Canada. So unfortunately, I stuck with that, like basically being a week behind in everybody else. So I stayed away from spoilers, and I did not like that, because people were all talking about the episode, and I wanted to join in, but it was kind of hard to join in when it's already been a week that people talked about it. So yeah, so it was really hard. So I decided what to do this time for Super Megaforce is, if they're going to do the same thing, I decided I'm going to download the episodes and actually end up searching it, like looking for them. And I actually found some websites that had them that I could download them from. And so, and I found out they were doing the same thing. Nickelodeon Canada was doing the same thing again. They were airing Super Megaforce 2 weeks later, and this time, as far as I know, now I did not watch Super Megaforce on TV really. I maybe watched a couple of episodes here and there, but ones I already seen at the time. But they basically were 2 weeks behind throughout the entire year. And so what I ended up doing at first, for the first half, because as you know, the seasons, even though this series are split into 2 seasons, they're always each split season are split in again with that stupid long hiatus. Now I will admit that the Super Megaforce hiatus was not as long as the Megaforce hiatus, because I think the Megaforce hiatus was like 6 months. It was ridiculously long. But Super Megaforce, I think, was only like 5 months, so it was, I think, like a month shorter. So that was good. But anyways, yeah. So so before the hiatus came for Super Mega Force, I was actually downloading the episodes on my computer and then watching them whenever. And that's how I watched them. And then I found out they were going on Hulu. But unfortunately, here in Canada, we can't watch Hulu, which is another thing, so because I thought the internet was the World Wide Web, but I guess that's not the case anymore, which it's especially now with how big the internet is now, that there's certain websites that you can't go on because of the country you're in. I think that's complete garbage, actually, to tell you the truth. But anyways, so I ended up finding a way that, I actually found out. It's actually kind of funny how it happened, because it was actually, I think I was looking at Sailor Moon stuff, because I knew the new Sailor Moon anime was coming out, which I haven't got around to watching yet, but I found out that was going to air on Hulu, and I remember someone saying that you could still watch it with this thing called Hola, which is an unblocker. I know I shouldn't be talking about this, but you know what? I don't care. I'm going to be talking. There is this program called Hola. Let's actually make sure it's the right name. Yeah, Hola Unblocker, and it basically unblocks stuff that are restricted, that you're not supposed to watch in your country. So I ended up using that, and then I started watching the episodes on Hulu, and you know, to tell you the truth, I liked them on Hulu, and I actually I actually do have an ad blocker on my computer, and that's because it's mostly for YouTube, really, and other websites. I just had these, when I'm trying to read something, watch a video, you have all these things flashing, and I was like, okay, whoa, that's too much. Okay, so I had to download. I actually had that since 2012. I had it for a while. But what I decided to do is I actually decided to take off ad blocker on Hulu, because to have commercials, because that way, I know this is going to sound maybe kind of stupid, but you know what, since I'm not watching on TV, I want to make it feel like I'm kind of watching on TV. So I decided to take the ad blocker off of Hulu, and when I watch shows, not just Power Rangers, but I'm able to watch them with commercials, and that's how I did the rest of Super Mega Force from when it returned in August of, or whenever it was last year, until basically the end. I watched it with commercials and everything, and I really enjoyed it. It really felt like I was watching it on TV, even though I was watching it on a smaller screen. But I just really enjoyed them. Yeah, I might end up doing it again, but I'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, so I ended up watching it, and so anyways, so so I watched the rest of Mega Force on Hulu. So anyways, I started watching then then a few days, I think it was a week or whatever, how long it was, we found out that there was going to be an extended version on Nicktoons, and I remember commenting that I hoping that that it was going to air on Hulu, the extended version. So I ended up watching the edited version, and I was severely disappointed in it. So, but at the same time, I was actually looking forward to the extended version. But then I was hearing stuff that, okay, the extended version was only going to have the last two episodes combined with some extra footage. And I was like, oh my god, okay, because you know what, I'm going to say this. I know when throughout Super Mega Force, people were complaining, oh, where did these suits come from? Like, people were like complaining about everything, especially like the Sentai suits. And I really thought that the Super Mega Force finale, the legendary battle, was going to be the big, huge payoff that we're going to be getting. And even with the extended one, no, it was not. We didn't get no explanation. And I did like the extended version, but it did not live up to the hype, and this is the thing that's severely wrong. So anyways, I was getting off topic there, but anyways, yeah, so, I know I'm sorry if I'm jumping all over the place here, but anyways, so I ended up watching, unfortunately, Hulu didn't air the extended version. It was only airing on Nickelodeon.com, so I actually started looking around on the internet, and I could not find it. I could not find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I couldn't find the extended version anywhere. So I was like, okay, and I found scenes for the extended episode, but I couldn't find the actual episode. So I didn't want to watch on Nick.com. Well, I had, like I said, I used the same Hulu, the Hola unblocker to do it. But the thing is, for some reason, when I try to watch videos on Nick.com, it lags for me. I don't know, maybe it's my internet connection. I don't know, but it really lags, and unfortunately, I had to watch on Nick.com, but it was okay. It wasn't really lagging that much. It was lagging a little bit, but not like nothing was really bothering me. So nothing that was really a big bother. I guess in a way I just had to put up with it because it was the only way I could watch it. So I watched it, and you know what? I actually liked it, but at the same time, like I just mentioned, it was always seriously disappointing. Yeah, because it was being all hyped up. After getting all that cast released of who was showing up and everything, and being all hyped up, saying this huge battle is going to happen. Look at all these Rangers are going to return, and I thought it's going to be this huge epic thing. I thought it was going to be the payoff from Megaforce. I thought everything. Okay, maybe not everything, but I thought a lot of stuff was going to be explained that was not explained in, especially Super Megaforce. And no, we got nothing. Gosei and Tensu were only heard in one scene, I think in the last episode of Megaforce. The Rangers, after the legendary battle, once again, quote unquote, that short battle, which that was actually severely the point. I actually have seen the original Sentai version of that. I actually seen it back in 2011, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait for this to become Power Rangers. And I actually admitted that when I seen the end of Megaforce, I'm like, oh my god, this looks so weird. Because I've actually seen that scene before. And so I was so excited to finally see this in Power Rangers, and like a lot of people, and is this okay? I will admit that wasn't maybe, I didn't really expect it to be maybe big and epic like Kaisha's legendary battle was, but it's just so short, and I don't think it should have happened like that. I don't know what happened. Like, the whole Megaforce thing was being overhyped, and a lot of people have said that, and I actually am agreeing with a lot of people what they've been saying for the past 4 years now, because everything was being overly hyped, especially with Super Megaforce, and we get this. So I don't know why this was it turned out the way like this. I know a lot of people have said it's because of I think his name's Jonathan Tizaka, whatever his name is. It's because of him. I don't know if it was him or not. Possibly it could have been, because I know that after this he was, I think they brought in Judd Lin for Dino Charge, and then they're gonna I still think that Jonathan Tizaka still works there, but I don't know. It's just Super Megaforce is such a letdown. Yeah. And I actually tell you, the last 4 years have been a letdown. Yeah, it's just very unfortunate, and I did not like. I also think that they should have rearranged some scenes. Like, for example, this is for the extended version. In the extended version, as you know, you think they destroyed Emperor Mavro in the ship, and then we find out later on, I think right before they go into the legendary battle, they end up fighting Emperor Mavro one last time, and then they changed into and I thought that was a really cool moment when they got to change into these past Power Rangers and then fight Emperor Mavro and everything. I thought that was really cool. Like, change all into yeah. And then you see the Rangers come in, they have that short legendary battle, then then all of a sudden all the Rangers just disappear. Like, okay, what? Okay, I know they did that in Super Sentai, and I don't know if that was really explained in Sentai either, but what? Like, all of a sudden you just disappeared. Are you to me, tell you the truth, it looked like the Megaforce Rangers were on a different planet. The way the Rangers teleported out over there. Or maybe the Rangers, like someone said, I don't know if it's someone like, the Rangers, maybe, were they even really there? I don't know. And anyway, so then they lay down saying it's finally over, and then Joy sticks his sword in the sand, in the ground, and just walks off, and that end. We don't get and I was very disappointed. Like, after spending 2 years with this cast, which I'm going to say again, I do like this cast. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. But to have it end like that, like that, it's what I think they should have done. This is for my opinion. I think what they should have done. Okay, have everything basically be the same. If they're not going to give the Legendary Rangers more time, then what I think they should have done, kept it the same. But after they destroy Emperor Marvel, they destroy him. But then all these Legendary Rangers start to show up, or the exploits, like how it worked out in the shortened version of the final episode. Like, after they defeat Emperor Marvel, all the exploits come along, and then you see all these other Legendary Rangers pop up, and then they go into that legendary battle, and then they fight for that short time, and then they blah blah blah, they talk, and then they leave, and then what I think they should have done is, then I think Emperor Marvel should have came in, and then I think Emperor Marvel should have came in. Sorry for repeating myself, but I think they should have came in at that time. I think he should have came in that time after the Legendary Rangers left and helped him defeat the rest of the exports. I think Emperor Marvel came up anointed. People were shocked. I think people have been more shocked. Whoa, Emperor Marvel's still alive, and then have that good battle with him. Because, to tell you the truth, I actually like the battle better with Emperor Marvel than I did the Legendary battle. And I find that very sad. I don't think that should be like that. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. Is they enjoyed the Emperor Marvel battle more than than the actual Legendary battle. So anyways, like I said, after they have the Legendary battle and all the Power Rangers leave, then have the final battle with Emperor Marvel. And then I would like them to have just finally, we're finally finished, we finally beat the Armada. And then all of a sudden, and I think this has been a very good callback to the first episode, they actually get teleported, like how and have them be teleported the exact same way they did in the very first episode of Megaforce. Kind of like have almost in a way come full circle, and having them teleport to the command center where Goatse and Tensu were, and Goatse gives a little speech saying that that you did a good job or whatever, but now it's time to give your powers back. The War Star and Armada have been defeated, and maybe they could have done a reference that there will be other teams coming after you to fight the bad guys if it does, and if they ever knew you, they could call on you, or something like that. I don't know. But where they have to basically give their Megaforce powers back and the Super Megaforce powers back to Goatse, and so he kind of like how what happened with at the end of RPM, where they all had to give the powers back. And I think even other seasons have done that, where they had to give the powers back, and I think that's what should have happened here, is to give the powers back. And what I think would have been a very cool moment is I think the very last scene, what they should have done is I think what I think they should have done is they give them speed, and I think want to do one last time and do something, and then they hold hands, and the last scene should have been saying like put their hands on top of each other, like in the first episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. At the end of that, hold hands and then jump and say Power Rangers, and that's where I think it should have ended. And maybe they could have gave, before they did that, maybe gave what they'd like to do. now they're not Power Rangers anymore, and then this is one last time Power Rangers, and then I think that would be a way better ending if they ended like that. Yeah. Another thing I actually seen a fan edit of is they have a big Megazord battle, which I wish they would have done as well. Like once again we find out, I think, and tell you the truth, I think this made Emperor Marvel even more of a menacing bad guy, is if we find out that no, even after them changing into past Power Rangers and thinking they destroyed him, is have him actually grow into this giant thing, this giant monster, and all of a sudden they have this huge Megazord battle with, I don't know how that would be explained, or they could have just like all of a sudden show up out of nowhere, like okay, all the Megazords from the past have all showed up and now are ready to help. I think that would have been better as well. But I just felt like we didn't really get a proper send off for the Megaforce Rangers, and it was very, very disappointing. But now, with all that being said, me basically almost in a way bashing, I won't really say bashing Super Megaforce, I will have to say that out of the past 4 years, I actually will say, I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but this is just my opinion. I have to say, even though I've just mentioned of all the stuff that went wrong with Super Megaforce, I still consider Super Megaforce the best season out of the past 4 seasons. And I also will admit that when Super Megaforce was airing, it was actually my 4th favorite season, like just right behind Zeo. But then it was actually the finale that really knocked it down a bit more. But yeah, and it might be knocked down even more once I actually get around to watching the rest of the season, the rest of the seasons. Yeah, so yeah. So it's just a very disappointing thing. Like after being hyped up for Samurai, and then the way that turned out, and then being hyped up again. Yes. Sorry for that cut. I don't know if you get if you noticed the cut, but there was a cut there. But anyways, yeah. So it's just very disappointing with the past 4 years. Like even though I like I just said, I feel like Super Megaforce was the best year of the past 4 years. Like that's just my opinion. That Super Megaforce, even though it had a lot of problems, I feel like we're still better out of the 4 years that we have had Power Rangers, or the past 4 years that we've had Power Rangers. I feel like Super Megaforce was the best that they offered, unfortunately. So after being all so now before the whole thing is just very let down. It's just because after being so hyped up for Samurai when it was announced to Bomb by the Back, which I was really excited for, and then I didn't really feel for Super Samurai because, like I said, I didn't watch it on TV, so I don't know if I would have felt the same way, but I don't know, probably not. But I can't really say. But anyways, so with Samurai, the hype up for Samurai, and then being hyped up again for Megaforce, and then being really hyped up for Super Megaforce. This is such a disappointing. Like, I wish they wouldn't have hyped. And to tell you the truth, with Super Megaforce, I think they should have tried and kept the cast secrets, like everybody, like Casey, Jaden, Mentor G, and the rest from and the ones from the Legendary Battle. I think they should have. I think they should have really kept those secret, like kept them hidden very well. They could have done. I know it's hard because of the way technology is and stuff is now, with stuff being leaked out on the internet. But I think they should have really tried very hard to try and keep those, especially for the Legendary Battle, kept the cameos a secret and kept it very under wrapped. And I feel like if that was to happen and nobody knew that past Power Rangers was going to return in like civilian form or whatever, then I think it would have went over way better. Like, was oh my god, whoa! Like for example, on right at the beginning of the legendary battle, at least the cut version, you all of a sudden see the first scene, one of the first seasons you see what's his name? The red and pink Lightspeed Rescue Ranger. I can't remember the names. I haven't seen much of the husband. I should know though. And then I think this would have been a really exciting cameo for a lot of people. Then you see this little boy, I think, who loses his dog, and all of a sudden you see this guy come up, and we find out it's Leo, the Red Lost Galaxy Ranger. Like, how cool would that have been? Like, that wasn't really a big surprise because we knew he was showing up anyways. But how cool would it have been if we did not know and it was not revealed that he was coming back? I think that would have been that'd be really cool. That all of a sudden you see what? Oh my god, that's Leo! Ah! Because I know Leo is considered one of the best Red Rangers ever, and I think that'd be really cool if you had Leo come out of nowhere and save his dog. Like, oh my god! I think people would have been really excited, and yeah, and then you had Tommy, which kind of doesn't make sense that he used Saba. And he didn't use his White Ranger powers. Like, okay, whatever. And I know people were also complaining about sorry if I know I'm getting back into the legendary battle, but it's just I just feel like if they didn't reveal who was returning, everything would have went. I think people would have been more excited to see the cameos because we knew they were coming out. They were returning, and it was being very hyped up that they were returning. Yeah, with it being all hyped up and everything. I think they should have really kept it under wrapped. Like, especially if they're only going to have them there for a couple minutes. Like, keep it under wrapped. And then I think it went way over better if they kept basically everything under wrapped, everything secretive. At least for the cameos, for the legendary battle, then I think people would have been more excited to see, like, oh my god, you know, shoot, blah, blah. Like, maybe they could have done Tommy, like, since Tommy is the face of Power Rangers, Tommy is this, Tommy is that. I suppose they could have revealed him, but yeah, so I don't believe they just did that. Yeah, no, but like I said, if they would have kept everything, I know I keep repeating myself, but it's just, if they would have kept everything secret and tried not to have the basically be leaked out of who was returning, then even the ones that didn't say anything, like for example, what's her name? I don't know, the yellow and green Samurai Ranger. I think people have been excited to see them because seeing them for the first time since the Super Mega Force, or the green Lost Galaxy Ranger. And I know a lot of people liked Carole, Melody Perkins' little moment she had there when, like, she held the pink Ranger helmet and then she says, I'm glad to be a Power Ranger, I can't remember how it goes, and then you see Carole's like face over her, like with Crone's wig and everything, or not Crone, oh my god, I can't remember, Astronomer's like face again over Crone, and I think that would have went way better. Like, I think people would still liked it. People obviously would have still liked it because that's one of the pieces a lot of people like. But yeah. Yeah, I think if they would have kept everything secretive of who is returning to the legendary battle and not hyping it up and not revealing who is returning. Okay, maybe reveal Tommy, but don't reveal anybody else. Then I think it would have went way better, like a lot better. Like, oh my god, this dumb. Yeah, it would have been a lot better. And also I think it would have went way more better if they did bring back more, but whatever. Yeah. So like I said, unfortunately I think Super Mega Force was way overhyped. Like, severely overhyped. And yeah, which I don't think it should have been. especially the way it turned out. So anyways, now enough about that. Sorry for maybe rambling on about Super Megaforce, but this, like I said, even though it is my favorite of the past 4 years, it's still a big, huge letdown. Now, here's probably might be the stuff you've been waiting for. Now, I am going to talk about Dino Charge. Now, this is kind of a strange thing, because now I actually really think about it. It's been really strange. As you know, and maybe you don't know, but before Super Megaforce premiered, so even before like they aired the first episode, I think even before it went up online, because I know the first episode I think of Super Megaforce premiered on Nick.com or Hulu. Like, yeah, maybe it was Nick. I don't know, but I think even before that, it was revealed that the next season after Super Megaforce was going to be Dino Charge, and like people were like thrown back, like what? Like, wait, what? Because as you know, if you do follow Sentai, I don't really follow Sentai, but I do know when they're coming out. As you know, after Gokaiger, which was what they used in Super Megaforce, after that, a lot of people thought they were going to do the Go Busters, which is what's the next season of Super Sentai, so they thought they were trying to think how they're going to use the Go Buster stuff. And if we're going to get that for 2 years, or what they're going to do. But we found out that they were actually skipping Go Busters. Now there's been some, like, I don't know, some rumors going around saying that, they might use elements from Go Busters. I don't know. As far as I know, that has never been confirmed. So I don't know if they're going to happen. I tell you the truth, I would like to see that happen, because it would really mix things up. But not do it like how Super Megaforce did, because that's, like I said, that's one of the problems Megaforce and Super Megaforce had, is they tried to combine two Sentais, but they didn't do it right. And if they just maybe use parts of Go Busters, then maybe it might work. So, but what they end up doing is they end up skipping Go Busters and going right into Karuga. And the weird thing is, I think this news came out just after Karuga finished, or just before. Sorry if I'm saying it right. Karuga, I don't know, whoever the dinosaur one was revealed that, whoa, this is going to be the next season. And then it really feels they were really taking the time on this. Like, now, as you might know, when the cast of Megaforce was revealed at Power Morphicon in 2012, a lot of people knew Megaforce was going to a lot of the time Megaforce, sorry about that, a lot of people, like, as you know, with the cast was revealed at Megaforce in 2012, but before that was revealed, almost the entire cast was revealed a couple months before time. The only one that really surprised people was Azim Rizik, I think his name is, who played Jake the Black Ranger. It was only him that I think people were surprised about. Gia, Emma, Troy, and Noah, like, a lot of people knew who they were going to be playing. Like not a lot of people knew that it was going to be them, but they were surprised when they found out someone else was going to be playing Jake. That's the only really surprise they had. But like I said, almost the entire cast was revealed. But for some reason this year, none of that happened. At least I didn't hear nothing about the cast being leaked out, like how Megaforce was. Because we did not find out who was going to be in Dino Charge until Power Morphicon last year. And yeah, and people were all like excited for that. Like, they knew they were going to be showing up there, but to me, it was just surprising that there's nothing really leaked out. Yeah. So it's just very surprising that with all that, And then even by that time the cast was really revealed, all we had was a base description of what the series was going to be about. And I guess we also found out at Power Morphicon that there's going to be an original villain, Sledge. And then as the months went on, we started getting more and more information. We finally got our first real trailer after the legendary battle for Super Mario Bros. And then a couple weeks after that, it was the theme song, which I really liked the theme song of Dino Charge, and I really hope that they don't use the roll call in that, because that is an awesome song. That's probably one of my favorite Power Ranger themes, even before it aired. Like, even if the season doesn't turn out as good, which I'll get into anyways, enough. But yeah, I just really like the Dino Charge theme. Like, I've heard it so many times now that I actually want to stay away from it until I don't want to hear it again until Dino Charge starts, because I'm going to get tired of hearing it if I keep listening to it. So I'm just going to not listen to it all until Dino Charge starts. And yeah. So anyways, the theme song was released. Then we started having some other stuff come out, and then I think right before the new year, we got a second trailer with a bit more footage, and yeah, and people were even getting more excited. And yeah, people were just more excited now, like, oh my god, whoa. And so then we didn't become more excited, and then people were talking, what's this mean, and blah blah blah. To me personally, and then I find out that I guess after Morphicon, the cast went over to New Zealand and started filming for the season. And then I actually heard that they I think probably last week, or not that long, just maybe last week, that they just returned to New Zealand for maybe the second set of episodes. I actually don't know. I don't know how this is going to look. Maybe I don't know what they're really doing. I'll tell you the truth. Maybe they're actually doing. Maybe they filmed the first 10 episodes last year, took some time off, and they're going to actually film the second set of episodes to air in the fall now, and then maybe they're going to start filming for next year in the summer or something. I don't know. But, yeah. So it sounds like maybe the scheduling might be different, but to me it seems to really taking the time on Dino Charge, because it was revealed of what the season was going to be called way before the Super Makeverse even premiered. We had the cast being announced for the first time at Morphicon, and yeah, it feels like it's going to be a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff happening in Dino Charge. And now this past weekend, it was. The release date was actually announced. Let me just find it. Actually, I know what date. February 12th, which came with another trailer, which was the third trailer that they announced, which wasn't really that much. It's the third trailer that they had, but it wasn't really much. It wasn't really not really that much difference. It was basically, I think, the same thing as the one that aired just before the new year, but a bit shorter actually. But yeah, and so it's been revealed that it's going to be the 7th, which I can't remember I think that's about the same time that Megaforce started. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah. Actually, let me just check that. I just want to check quickly. I just want to check quickly. The dates of when Samurai, Super Samurai, Megaforce, and Super Megaforce premiered. So it gives me an idea, because yeah, so according, like I said, it's going to be the 7th, and Ranger. Yeah, yes, sorry, I'm just trying to find out. Sorry, my computer's kind of slow. Okay, let's see when Samurai premiered. Okay, No, I'm not worried about the word. Okay, this episode, the Team Unites episode I was talking about during Samurai, premiered on February 7th, so it premiered the same time as, according to Wikipedia, it premiered the same day. Actually, what day would that be? That doesn't sound right to me. Anyways, I don't know, but anyways, it premiered February 7th, the same, time. It looks like Dino Charge is going to premiere, and then Super Samurai premiered on February 18th, so that was a little bit later. Mega Force premiered. Mega Force premiered on February 2nd, so yeah, that was really early, February 2nd. So, and then Super Mega Force, I think that was last year. I remember being a little bit later. Was February 15th, yeah. So in a way, that the date's not really that surprising, because compared to like especially being the same day that Samurai premiered. So yeah. Yeah, so we got first date, and then I think the same day. Now this is the one thing about Dino Charge. Very little has been leaked out. Like, as you know, as you maybe you know or you don't know, a lot of stuff for Dino Megaforce, and especially Super Megaforce, with once again coming under being overhyped, and too much stuff being leaked out. Not much stuff has been leaked out about Dino Charge. Yeah, like with the stuff we've been talking about, that's all we really got. Like, we got the characters' names and everything, but we still don't really have a solid thing. Like, a lot of the times people knew like how the season was going to be because of all this stuff that was being leaked out for Megaforce and Super Megaforce. We kind of figured, just with all the stuff that's been leaked out, of how it was going to be. But there's very little that we know about Dino Charge, and this week actually was probably the biggest that we've got since the first trailer was released back in October, or whenever the finale of Super, or I guess it'd be November, since the first trailer came out back after the Super Megaforce finale. But the biggest news is this might be the biggest news, is we actually got the first 4 episodes descriptions. And I do want to read those, but I don't want to really do any major spoilers here, so I'm not going to read them. I'm not going to read the episode. I'll just tell you the episode title, and that's going to be it. Episode 1 is going to be called Powers from the Past. Episode 2 is going to be called Past, Present, and Fusion. Episode 3 is going to be A Fool's Hour. And then the 4th episode is going to be called Return of the Caveman. That's all we have so far, and there's episode descriptions, so if you want to know what those episodes are, like the description of them, you have to go find out for yourself. But in my opinion, they don't really give that much out information. They give out like the base information of the episode. It doesn't really go into that much detail. It goes into maybe a tiny bit of detail of what the episode's going to be, but it doesn't really get into any really major detail. This gives you a little detail on each episodes. At least the first 4 episodes, and to me, with what I've read, it sounds like, whoa, this is really something. And yeah, and I will say this might be a spoiler. I will say this. This warning, this could be a spoiler, but with these descriptions, I know I said I was going to read them. I just want to say this. So what I'm about to say is this. It might be a spoiler, so this be warned. It seems with the episode descriptions, we're actually going to get the Power Rangers through the first 4 episodes, which will run, I guess, the month of February. So what, looks like it's going to happen is we're going to be introduced, or we're going to get the first 2 Power Rangers first, which is going to be, looks like going to be red and pink. Then in the second episode, it looks like it might be green. The 3rd episode, I think they're going to introduce black, and then maybe the 4th episode they're going to introduce blue. Now, I don't know if they're all going to be seen in the first episode, and then they just become Power Rangers as the time goes on. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to be introduced all in the first episode, and then they're going to get the powers as the weeks go on. Like, they're not going to get the powers all at once, which I think that's a really cool idea. Like, I know like how RPM did it, but RPM, I think they could have done that better. Like I said, I was a really big fan of the blue, yellow, and red having the powers already being there, but having like basically each ranger getting their own power in each episode. Like, it's like, oh, okay, that's going to be like, and that's, I think what February is going to be is basically going to be an introduction to these characters throughout the whole month, instead of basically introducing to them all at once in the first episode or the first 2 episodes. We basically get introduced to the 5 main rangers through the first 4 episodes. And that, I think, is going to be wow. I'm going to say this, as much as I want to get excited for Dino Charge, I don't want to get too excited, because I'm really worried, and this is probably my number 1 fear, is it going to turn out the way the past 4 years has. Now, I will say this, with what we do know, I think it is going to be different than the past 4 years, but will it be different for the better, or will it be different for the worse? Because I think it's going to go either way. It's going to be better for the worse, or better for the, like, it's going to be better for the worse. It's going to be either better than what we got for the past weeks, or it's going to be worse than the past. I don't think it's going to really, I don't know. I do think it's going to be different than the past 4 years, but I don't know if it's going to be a good different or a bad different. I guess put it that way. And yeah, it's very unfortunate that that's how I have to think. A lot of people think, but it's just because of the past 4 years that's just really my number 1 fear. Is it going to turn out how the past 4 years have? I hope it doesn't. And I've never said this on a video, but for me, and I think a lot of people might agree, is Power Rangers and dinosaurs have always gone together. You've had Mighty Morphin, which had dinosaurs, and you know how that turned out. That's like probably one of the best. It's actually one of my favorite seasons. The very first Mighty Morphin season. Then you had Dino Thunder, which a lot of people consider one of the best Disney seasons. Like, not just for Tommy. Like, even without Tommy, I think it's still been a good season. And now we have Dino Charge, so I really feel they can't really fail on this, because like I said, Power Rangers and dinosaurs seem to go together like natural, like kind of like peanut butter and jelly. Sorry about that. I don't know, that's maybe a stupid comparison, but yeah, that's just how I feel. Because I feel like there's no way they could fail, but at the same time, I am worried because of the past 4 years. I hope it is. Now, as far as is it going to be as popular as Mighty Morphin, I would like to see that happen, but like I know Fabio, the Italian Stallion, said in one of his videos, he said he doesn't believe it will, and unfortunately, I hate to agree with him, but I do truly feel that, because this is a different time than when Mighty Morphin was on. Like, when Mighty Morphin was on, you didn't really, yes, you had like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and the Disney Channel, but that's really all you had, and those, at least where I lived, weren't really widely available like they are now. Like, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and Cartoon Network weren't widely available. It didn't become widely available until later on. And so at the time, we really only had Fox Kids that aired Power Rangers. Like, even here in Canada, we only had Fox Kids, because it used to air like on, I think, YTV, but then it's too violent, and then you see, it's whatever. But even in Canada, we only had had to watch on Fox Kids as well. So yeah, because it was at a perfect time, and there was really no other show like it. Now, I tell you the truth, I do feel like there's still like no other show like Power Rangers, but but is this just more selection now? I guess you could say there really wasn't that much selection of kids shows back in the day, but there's just so much stuff out there that's really hard for Power Rangers to stand out. I think this is a good thing with them going back to the dinosaur thing, but I just don't know. I would like to see Dino Charge continue more than the 2 years, and I've actually, yeah. And one thing I feel like with Dino Charge, with what we do know, I feel like it's gonna be feel like a one season with 40 episodes, but it's spread across 2 years. Like that, I never really got that feeling from Samurai or Megaforce or Super Megaforce. Well, Samurai, and especially with Megaforce and Super Megaforce, I never really got that feeling that it was being treated like a 140 episode season. That's how I feel like Dino Charge is being treated, is like a 140 episode season. I think they tried it with Samurai, but I don't think it worked out. And Megaforce, I don't care what, I don't want to say that, but I actually disagree with people when they say it's the same. Like, I don't want to say that either. I feel like they're making Megaforce and Super Megaforce as two separate seasons, and that's how, and I feel that way too, because to me, Megaforce and Super Megaforce have a completely different feeling to them. Like, even though you have the same cast and characters and whatever, it's just, for me personally, it feels different. This Megaforce and Super Megaforce feel completely different. Like I said, I think they tried it with Samurai and Super Samurai, but it just didn't work. But I think they're really now properly treating this as a 40 episode, one season with 40 episodes, but spread across 2 years instead of airing all the episodes all out in 1 year. So instead of airing all 40 episodes in 1 year, they're going to air it through 2 years, and I think that's how it should be. If Nickelodeon's going to stick with this stupid 20 episode limit. So yeah, but yeah, well, actually, so I'm just hoping that Dino Charge turns out to be a really good season. I think a lot of people are hoping that, but I think a lot of people are very worried that it's going to turn out how we have been getting for the past 4 years. Now, me personally, I'm probably going to like it either way, but I want it to be very successful amongst the fans, because I feel like the past 4 years, the fans have been kind of turning on Power Rangers. Like, they're going back to the older seasons, which is fine, but I kind of wish that the fans would come back to the newer seasons. And unfortunately, they can't, because I understand why, because of the way the past 4 years have. So maybe Dino Charge could really turn the fandom around and bring the fans back to the current seasons, instead of relying so much on the older seasons, which I will admit are really good seasons, but I just would like them to return to the newer seasons. And yeah, but I don't know. I just really hope it's really successful. And yeah, and tell you the truth, I actually hope if Dino Charge proves to be very successful, I actually do hope that they stick around for more than 2 years. I don't know. I know, like, if you go back to Mighty Morphin was only supposed to have 40 episodes. I think that's how much it was. Let me go back to that again. Sorry. That's why I go back to the thing. Because I know Power Rangers was originally going to end at episode, I think, 40 something. Okay, so to find it. Okay, Mighty Morphin. Sorry, yeah. Now I understand why Mighty Morphin, because it was completely different. That's why it was so successful. Just give me a minute here. Okay, the final 2 episodes of Power Rangers was supposed to be Doomsday Part 1 and 2, which aired on November 29th and November 30th, 1993. And that was being planned for the series finale. Because they didn't actually have any more episodes until February for a couple months, because they actually had to go back and film episodes for that. And so, yeah. So Power Rangers was only supposed to have 40 episodes, but because it became so popular right away, that they basically continued on for 100 and, I guess, let me just check. I apologize once again. I should know this, but they actually, Mighty Morphin continued on for another, up until for 145 episodes. So that proves it right there, that a show that was supposed to end after 40 episodes well, I guess if you count the Alien Rangers, I'm not going to really count the Alien Rangers. Like, if you just concentrate on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, it ran for 145 episodes. Like I said, I know Alien Rangers is part of the third season, but I actually look at that as more of a transitioning from Mighty Morphin to Zeo. That's basically what the whole 10 episode thing was just basically the transition from Mighty Morphin to Zeo. And yeah, so, but you had 145 episodes of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it was only supposed to end at 40. And so what I'm saying is, I'm hoping that maybe Dino Charge could do the same thing. They have 40 episodes, because it looks like they are more than actually Dino Thunder, which was the last dinosaur one we had. Let's just check Dino Thunder. I'm going to keep going off topic here. Yeah, so I'm just hoping that maybe they could have the same thing, like where the 40 episodes become so popular, like it becomes so popular that they actually have to go back and film additional episodes, like they did with Mighty Morphin back in the day. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the thing. I actually do hope it is, because now I don't mind these one season stories, but I would like to see them go back to like this like how the Zordon era did it. They go back to that kind of thing, like where they have this story run for 6 years. Like, even though Mighty Morphin ended after 145 episodes, the story, the characters in this story continued up until the Countdown to Destruction, the end of In Space, which once again was also supposed to be the end of Power Rangers. Actually, but yeah, the end of Power Rangers, but it was so popular that they actually continued, but they decided to just do one season every year. But I would like them to go back to, maybe for a couple of years, go back and do maybe more than 1 year, or one season split across 2 years. Yeah. And if we're going to get 40 episodes of Dino Charge, that's going to be more than Dino Thunder, because Dino Thunder, Dino Thunder only had 38 episodes, so that's a little bit shorter, but yeah. But like I said, if they're treating Dino Charge, which it looks like they are doing, if they're treating it like one season with 40 episodes, I think that'd be fine. It's just the episodes would just be spread out further. Instead of airing all in 1 year, you'll get them across 2 years. And that's what I think this season should be done, because if Nickelodeon's not going to change once again, we'll say again, their stupid schedule and the hiatus thing, if they're not going to change that, then you're going to have to treat the season as if you're taping it for 1 year, and then just have it spread out through 2 years. And that's how I think it should be done. Like, treat it like a one season with 40 episodes, and then it probably would do good. And like I said, that looks like what they're doing with Dino Charge. Is doing that. So yeah, yeah. So I'm really I'm excited for Dino Charge. because of all the stuff that's coming. And also, I'm just excited because it's a new season, and actually, before I get this, as for, I know I mentioned this in my update video I had, but I would like to see a crossover with the Mega Force Rangers, but not the Mega Force, but the Super Mega Force, I should say. And I don't mean like them changing the past Power Rangers, like using their pirate costumes. Like, even if they still don't give an explanation why they're pirates, like just having them cross over with those Rangers and cross them with Dino Charge, I think that'd be really cool to see those two Rangers fight beside each other. Or what they could do is maybe have the Rangers come back, and maybe not be Rangers, to come back in like civilian form. And that's another thing. It also seems like they're also filming a lot of original footage for Dino Charge, so maybe they're going to do a lot of maybe unmorphed fights, which that's one of the problems I think Power Rangers has actually had for actually maybe go far as saying this since season 2. Like, after season 2 ended, it feels like they didn't really have much civilian fights that they did, like they did in the first 2 years. And it just seemed it got less and less as time went on, which is fine. Like I said, I still like the seasons, like Mighty Morphin season 3 and Zeo and some of the other seasons, but I just feel like a lot of the times they would always rely on their Power Rangers powers. There's always, yeah. So maybe we're going to get a lot more civilian footage this time around. A lot more original footage, which I feel like the more original footage there is, the better, because that way it distinguishes itself from its Sentai that's based on, like the footage they're using the Sentai from, by making it completely different by filming original footage. Yeah. So yeah, so like I was saying is I do hope that they do a crossover with the Super Mega Force Rangers, but even if they just do the Mega Force Rangers, I guess I would be fine with it. But but I do hope there's a crossover with them in some way. I will say this might be another spoiler, but I watched an interview I think last month on some web series called The Hashtag Show. I'm actually subscribed to them. They just interview. They've been interviewing a lot of Power Rangers. And one person they interviewed was Sierra Hanna, who played Gia, the yellow Mega Force Ranger. And they were just talking about her, and she did say that she is in talks to maybe make a cameo, like to return. Like, I don't know if it's for a team up or what. I don't know. I would like to see her return because I actually agree with a lot of people that Gia was very underutilized. I really like Gia, and I would like to see her maybe come back or something, and maybe have a bigger part or something. I don't know, but I think right now she's in talks. And also, I'm going to mention this. Another spoiler I might be spoiling is, so this is going to be a big spoiler if it is, but it was revealed at Morphicon that Austin St. John, yes, the Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger is going to be, or I don't know, is going to be, but is in talks to return to Dino Charge. He, as far as I haven't watched any footage of it, but what I've been hearing is that he revealed that he was in talks to return. But like I said, I don't know if that's still going to happen. I hope it does, but I don't know. So yeah. So I just can't wait to watch Dino Charge. I'm actually getting very excited for it. I'm not going to get too overly excited for it. I probably will be reviewing the first episode properly. I know when I did the first episode of Super Mega Force, I didn't really review. I just showed my reaction and how excited I was. But I think I'm going to actually do a proper review this time, because at least I don't want to get overly excited. Which, as if you did watch my video on the first episode of Super Mega Force, you could see how excited I was for the premiere. And by the end of Super Mega Force, as much as I hate to say it, I was still excited, but at the same time I wasn't as excited as I was at the beginning. So yeah. So I guess that'll be it. I think this has gone on for quite a long time. I don't know how long. I think maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I don't know, but it's looks like a long podcast. So I just want to apologize if this was a long podcast, but I really enjoyed this. I might do maybe one in the future, but let's see how this one goes. See if people listen to this or not. Before I go, I want to announce that I have officially joined Ranger Crew, which in case you don't know, it's basically I think the same thing as Ranger Board, but it's a message board for Power Rangers, and I've always wanted to join one. I just never. Well, one thing I didn't really want to join because I know people like go crazy on it and everything and whatever. And that's one of the reasons why I never went on it. But I always wanted it. I started looking up more stuff on Dino Charge because I wanted to know more. I know some stuff usually gets leaked out, but even on Ranger Crew and even Ranger Board, with what I've seen, there's really nothing, no big spoilers. The only biggest spoiler we really got was the episode descriptions, and even like I said, even that doesn't really give you. It only gives you like a small, I guess, sample of what's going to be about. Like gives you like the basic story. Like gives you this little stuff of what's going to be happening in that season. So I'm now on Ranger Crew. I'm actually under Power Ranger Ernie. I was going to do Ernie the Retro Kid, but I decided, you know what? Why not have a Power Ranger name? And so I'm called Power Ranger Ernie. I'm under Power Ranger Ernie on Ranger Crew, and it's I haven't really. I've been enjoying it so far. I've done a few posts in here and there, just talking mostly about Dino Charge and everything. Not really nothing major yet. But yeah, so I'm like the reason I chose Ranger Crew over Ranger Board. Maybe I'll still join Ranger Board in the future, but I just feel like Ranger Crew is more easily accessible. Like it's more easy to navigate through. That's what I feel. For me, it just feels Ranger Crew is just easier to navigate through than Ranger Board. Like I like Ranger Board too. I think Ranger Board might be bigger, but it might be a bigger message board than Ranger Crew. But I don't know. I just like the feeling. Even the look of Ranger Crew seems a bit, in a way, a bit better. Yeah. Let me just go to Ranger Board for a minute. I just want to see that out. Actually, maybe the outline is better. Let's see. Okay, well, Ranger Board looks okay. They have like the black and white. If you've been to Ranger Board, they have like a black and white Megazord on one side, and on the other side have the black and white Dragonzord. But it's just like it seems okay. It might be bigger than Ranger Crew. But I just like Ranger Crew more. Just because it's for me, it seems like it's more easy to access through, and it's more simpler. Like I said, maybe in the future I might join Ranger Board, but for the time being, I'm just on Ranger Crew right now. So if you want to like follow me on Ranger Crew, I'm under Power Ranger Ernie, and yeah. And also, if you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm on Ernie Batozzi, and I'll post a link to I'll post a link to my Facebook page. I don't think I could post a link to on Ranger Crew. I don't know how you do that, because it's just I'm if you want to know what, I'm actually under the Power Rangers Dino Charge pre-discussion. That's what I'm under right now. That's what I've only been under right now. I might go over to some of the other I guess you call them threads or other topics, but right now I'm just under the I'm just commenting on or talking through it or whatever on the Power Rangers Dino Charge pre-discussion is called on Ranger Crew. So that's the only message part I'm on right now. So yeah, so if you want to follow me on there, or if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Ernie Batozzi, which is ERNIEBERTOZZI, and yeah. So I just want to thank you guys for listening to this. If you stuck around this long, I really enjoyed this. Like I said, I think it's been I think it's actually almost 2 hours maybe. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I've been wanting to just do one of these for a long time. I guess this is kind of like a podcast, I guess, in a way. Yeah, so like I said, maybe if you guys enjoy this, then maybe I'll do another one in the future. Maybe more Power Rangers stuff. Because I really enjoy talking about Power Rangers a lot. Even though I do like other stuff. Like I think just because it's so close to Dino Charge's premiere, that I'm kind of like in a Power Ranger mood in a way. It seems like Power Rangers is like the top thing. I always go through moods like that. I always go through moods like, okay, I like this more and I like this one. It's just, that's how it is. I think because Dino Charge is coming up and I'm actually excited for that. I think and tell you the truth, maybe Dino Charge might end up becoming my favorite show, which Power Rangers hasn't been my favorite show since, I would probably say maybe Mighty Morphin or even Zeo. Actually, I don't think even Zeo, because I think I was watching other stuff at that time. Maybe Zeo. It's hard to say. I just know maybe Zeo was my favorite. And yeah, so maybe since Power Rangers Zero, that Power Rangers could become my favorite show again. It's like I say, it's a show that I've always liked, but it hasn't been my favorite show on TV or whatever. Oh yeah, actually, oh my god, I forgot about this. As you know, I was watching Super Mega Force on Hulu. If Nickelodeon Canada does not air Dino Charge in proper order, like if they decide to go a week or 2 weeks behind the US like they have been doing, then I'm going to stick and watching it on Hulu. Hopefully that they still upload it to Hulu, the episodes. But unfortunately I would have to wait until I think the Sunday for them to upload it to Hulu, and I'll be fine with that, post on Hulu. Yeah. It'd be sad if I had to go that way, but you know what? If Nickelodeon Canada wants to air them 2 weeks later, then forget it. I'll watch on Hulu then. Yeah, so I just want to add that little bit thing in. So I just want to thank you guys for watching. I'll post a link to my Facebook page, and so if you want to like friend me or just talk with me about either Power Rangers or maybe some other stuff, you can. Yeah, feel free to do that. And and actually, you know what? I'm also going to post a link to the girl who I said at the beginning of the podcast that the Dulcia, the girl who she has like some form of cancer that they're raising money for, to help her get the surgery that she needs for it to happen, and I want to post that as well. The link to that, the GoFundMe thing. Like if you want, you don't have to donate, but it's just if you want, I'll just make it's more easy for me to just post the link for you guys there. I'll post that as well. So yeah, so that'd be it for my this podcast. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I might do more in the future if you guys like this. And you know, please comment on this. I don't want to complain about me not getting comments, but this, I'd really like you guys to comment on this one. Like, if you guys are listening to this, please comment, because I'd really like to know, because I want to know if you guys like this and should I do more. And if you want me to do more, then what, maybe give me some topics I could talk about. And yeah. Yeah, so yeah. So I just want to thank you guys for listening to this, and yeah, I've really enjoyed this, and I hope to do this again. So thank you guys, and may the power protect you. Bye.